Hey there, it's been a while. Let's talk about it. Lately, a lot has been happening, and as you can tell from the title, I've left Pulse Clan. It's a team that I've loved being a part of over the years, but sadly, the decision had to be made after several months of consideration. There's lots of reasons why I left, and I will be getting into all of the reasons, but I also want to really quick clear up that me leaving Pulse does not mean I'll stop freestyling. I know you're in the comment section writing up already, but again, it does not mean my content will change. Honestly, I'm still the same. It just means that I have more free time now. I mean, hey, over my time not uploading, I've still been freestyling and I've still been coaching you guys. And hey, actually, before we get into why I left Pulse Clan, I want to give a massive thanks to Metaphy for sponsoring this video and continuing their support for me as a creator and a coach on their platform. Now, if you know me, you know I love Metaphy. It's an online coaching platform created for anyone who feels that they might be struggling to climb the ranks or just want to improve faster. It has some of the best players and coaches in the world, so you can be safe knowing you're in good hands when getting coached. Metaphy allows you to have a private one-on-one coaching session with the best coaches and players of Rocket League and also plenty of other games. You simply go to their website, search for Rocket League or whatever game you want to improve in, you find the right coach for you, and you book your first session right then and there. Booking pretty much instantly and getting access to a chat with your coach in real time. It's never been this easy. Honestly, I just love how convenient it is, and the broad selection of amazing coaches makes the decision just so much easier if you're looking to improve. Now, within Rocket League, they literally offer coaching for every game mode and even freestyling. Hell, even I'm on there as a coach too. I've been working with them for multiple months now. Now, when you realize this is perfect for you because you're a noob, go on over to Metaphy, and hey, the first 2 people who use this code on screen over on Metaphy get a free one-on-one session with any coach they want. If you try the code and it's been used, you can use this 20% off code BALL20 for the first 72 hours this video is out for, or if you're watching this later on, use code FREESTYLE10 for 10% off your session. Now, that last code lasts for 30 days. Again, massive thanks to Metaphy for sponsoring this video and continuing their support for me as a creator and a coach. So, the big elephant in the room, the reasons of why I left Pulse Clan. Now again, there were multiple different things that motivated me to leave Pulse, so I'll actually leave it in chapters. So, the first reason is actually a disagreement with how Pulse Clan should be ran. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because, honestly, for one, it's private, and 2, it's in the past now. But I will share a bit. Some of you guys might not know that I wasn't just a player for Pulse, but I was actually a part of Pulse management. Now, my job initially was to take care of the players of Pulse as a lead player, basically ensuring player projects went smoothly, like montages. I'd be coming up with new projects on the player end and making sure players aren't constantly inactive whilst in the team. I'd be sorting out applications people sent in to try and join Pulse and so much more. However, later on, I'd move to a different position where I'd mainly be focusing on creating content for Pulse. I'd be restructuring how we created and posted content within the team, and this would come with changes in, for example, social media management, players creating content for the first time, and also the first time for us having a dedicated team for content creation, as well as creating the Pulse YouTube team. There was a lot of changes going on, and I'd be the content manager, which again was honestly a much bigger role than my previous one. Anyways, this did lead me to be a bit more involved with management as well. So, onto this disagreement. It was mainly between myself and MK, although others were also involved, and it mostly involved in how the business side of Pulse should be set up. This was a disagreement that went on for over a year, and honestly, that disagreement within management definitely played a big part in me being demotivated with continuing with Pulse and doing projects for Pulse. Now, me leaving is not a decision I took lightly. I had been thinking about it for months, so honestly, it was incredibly tough to take that step. I mean, after all, it's a team that I'd loved for a very long time and worked very hard for. I'd started out looking up to the team, and then having the opportunity to be in it, it was honestly fantastic. Now, just really quick disclaimer, most people don't actually get paid in Pulse. Now, I'll explain that. But for example, my entire time in Pulse, I was never paid. Well, actually, I did put in a couple of thousand into Pulse because I just had a big passion for it. But again, not being paid, that's okay. Nobody expected to be paid when joining Pulse. Just to explain, it's a bit more of a collective team effort and not really like a typical organization that you see with other teams. However, more objective work like editing, designing, etc. was paid, which is obviously great. Now, I'm only noting this so nobody gets confused with why there weren't any complications in leaving or no mention of contracts at all. Normally you'd expect contractual obligations, leaving periods, etc. when in a contract with an organization, which would complicate things. But again, Pulse is not an organization, it's more of just a team of friends. I've just been asked many times about it in the past, so I'm just clearing it up now. So, I will just say real quick, MK and I don't have any bad blood. I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea, to be honest. People can obviously have disagreements, especially in business, without ending up just hating the other person for it. I mean, in the end, it's just a difference in mindset. Nobody was really wrong in this situation. Things just didn't work out, sadly. And so with that, out of respect for MK, I never shared too much about what the disagreement was actually about. But the tiny details and small gist of it is that he basically wanted his family involved in setting up the company. Myself and a few others didn't think that was good for Pulse at all, and so we disagreed with it. That's all I need to say. It's a private family matter, so I'm not going to go into any more details about it. Oh my god. To say that Pulse took up a lot of time is an understatement. Throughout my time in Pulse, I honestly heavily prioritized the team over even my own career. My mentality was pretty much fully focused on making Pulse Clan succeed, and with that, it didn't really leave me that much time to do other things. I mean, I'd shift my focus from doing videos on my own channel to making videos on the Pulse channel, and I'd use the ideas that I had for my own channel, but I'd give it to Pulse Clan. I mean, I'd take the time I'd normally be playing top level 1v1s as well, for example, and instead I'd just put it into planning future projects for Pulse. But honestly, you get the point. Working on Pulse in such an early part of my career, and with the things that we wanted to achieve, was incredibly time consuming. Obviously it comes with the territory, of course, but ultimately it was time consuming for all of management. But through it all, I learned some amazing skills and I worked with great people. It was genuinely a ton of fun being a part of that big machine, working with such amazing talent and honestly learning from them in the process. So no, my time there was not for nothing. However, that's not all. So yeah, this is a pretty big one. And I don't really talk about mental health that often, but I think it's important to talk about it here. I also just don't see many people speak up about it in this community. Now, like a lot of others, over the last year and a half or so, I've been in a constant struggle with depression. Sometimes it would get pretty dark and draining, to say the least. Now, I can contribute my mental decline to a lot of different things in my life, but honestly having zero focus on my mental health obviously didn't help the situation. But regardless of that, I would always kind of find myself dedicating like so much of my energy on things that were just not for my own well-being in mind. I mean, for example, I'd prioritize others over myself, and of course that's not very healthy. I mean, you do have to put your own oxygen mask on first before helping others, but up until recently, I didn't really get that. But yes, of course, with my mental health on the decline, that heavily demotivated me on my efforts with Pulse as well. It just contributed to a lot of different things. And yeah, I'll definitely say that I wasn't doing my best with Pulse towards the end either. I was demotivated, and as a result, I didn't put in a lot of effort to push the team forwards. I mean, I didn't put a lot of effort into a lot of things at some points. And in fairness though, I just couldn't continue my focus constantly being on outside things and not myself just forever. However, it's safe to say that my mental health declining at the time definitely led me to understand that a shift of focus to myself was very important. And that means actively focusing on things that benefit me, working for and on myself. But yeah, I mean, this segment kind of goes to show the type of mindset that I was in at the time and kind of how that led to some of my decisions whilst in Pulse and outside of Pulse as well. Well, so I realized I wasn't happy anymore in Pulse, and with everything going on, it honestly got me thinking, what does make me happy? At least in Rocket League. Truth be told, I've done a lot in Rocket League. I mean, I've been rank 1 in 1v1s after thousands of hours of practice. I've played show matches, and taken down many legends that I used to look up to, like for example in the Fairy Peak show match. I've done streaming and I became partnered on Twitch. I've freestyled and played with the best mechanical players in the world for it. I'm a YouTuber, which first of all, it's a childhood dream of mine. I mean, it's a childhood dream of many people. And I've now reached over 320,000 subs at the time of this recording, which it's only a little bit lower than the entire population of my own country, which is honestly incredible to me, and I still can't believe it. Hell, recently I've even coached a team to RCS London and RCS Worlds. But look, I realized that there was something else besides all of that. Something that's genuinely sparked my passion for the game again. Now, obviously my vision for Rocket League definitely changed a lot throughout this year, especially whilst being a coach. It helped me understand what I really want in my future. And sure, that did play a part in me leaving Pulse. But recently, I've made my decision to becoming a professional player in Rocket League. I'll be spending a ton of time dedicating myself to becoming the best possible player and to play on that big stage that pretty much everyone dreams of. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, I've grown up with Rocket League. First time I played it, I was 12 years old. I was constantly watching John Sandman. I was worse than him, and I even lost to a bit of 1v1 on my 13th birthday, which honestly is still probably pretty funny. But I'm now 18 years old, and I'm turning 19 this year. I'm definitely no oldie in the Rocket League scene, but still, with this, I've obviously experienced a lot. And again, pretty much achieved everything that I've wanted to achieve. Except for playing as a professional player. It's pretty much my ultimate goal at this point. Nothing will stop me in this. It's time to do it. Now, what does all of this mean for the future of this channel? Will I stop freestyling? Will I only do 1v1 content? No, definitely not. Are you insane? Genuinely zero negative changes are gonna happen, and you don't have to believe me, you'll see it. The only changes you'll see is that my channel name will be changed soon to remove Pulse from the name, and the look of my channel will be a little bit different. For example, there will be a new logo, there will be a new banner and such. Besides from that, I'll be uploading a lot more frequently than I have been, and no, again, freestyling is not going anywhere. This change will only ever be a positive one for this channel. But even if you guys are wondering about like anything pretty much, you can always ask in my Discord. So hey, the conclusion, even though I poured a lot of time, money, and effort into Pulse Clan, I'll never forget the amazing memories from it. It's been a fantastic ride. And of course, I don't have any bad blood with anyone in Pulse either. It's genuinely been a fantastic time, but it's also time for a new chapter. The future is bright, and I hope you guys are excited as I am. Subscribe for more. See ya!